Hello everybody, Brad on YouTube again, and I want to do a review on a fragrance called Eternity for Men by Calvin Klein. And this was released in 1989, and I'll do a rundown of the notes. Top notes: mandarin, lavender, green botanics. Middle notes: jasmine, basil, geranium, sage. Base notes: sandalwood, vetiver, rosewood, and amber. Okay, so as far as the smell goes, I find this to be a rather pleasant smell. Um, I guess you could classify it as sort of a green soapy smell. Um, there are a couple floral notes in there. It's not really an overpowering floral smell. I mean, it's very well blended, and the floral just kind of adds to the overall effect. I don't think I would really consider this to be a floral fragrance so much. Um, but I find it to be a very pleasant smell, just kind of like a soapy floral green type smell. Um, it's been around since 1989, so I think the name Eternity is actually a very good name for this fragrance. Who would have known that 21 years later, this fragrance would still be in production? And I'm not sure how popular it is today. I believe it was at the height of its popularity in the 90s, specifically among the college crowds. So as far as today goes, if you work with people or surround yourself with people that were college students in the early 90s, um, it's possible that they might associate this fragrance with something specific. I was reading some interesting stories. One time I read this story on the internet about a person that was at a party. Somebody threw up on a rug, and then somebody thought they would put Eternity on the vomit rug and cover the smell. Of course, for that person, the entire Eternity for Men experience is forever ruined. Of course, that could happen with any fragrance that's been around for 20 years or so, but I think for the most part, um, this fragrance is something that would hold up quite well in today's environment, especially if you work with people or around people that haven't been overexposed to it in the past. I think, since it has been so long since this fragrance was initially launched, there's probably a whole new generation of people out there that haven't really smelled Eternity that much. In fact, I'm pretty sure I got at least one compliment at work wearing Eternity, so I'm really glad I have this in my collection. And it's also been the inspiration for several other fragrances. I think Curve is probably, to some extent, a knockoff of Eternity because it has a similar vibe. It's not an exact copy. I wouldn't call it a knockoff of Eternity, but it shares a similar vibe, if you know what I mean. It just kind of has like that greenness to it, just a pleasant green um, blend of notes. And it's very popular and cheap. And that one's also becoming quite overplayed as well. In fact, I think that if you wore Eternity amongst the Curve crowd, you would probably actually stand out and be more unique than the people wearing Curve. So, yeah, I think if you like Curve or any of the other type scents with sort of like a greenness to them, maybe like even like Mugler Cologne by Terry Mugler, or um, just something kind of different. I mean, it's a very unique fragrance. I'm very glad to have it. I mean, a lot of new fragrances coming out kind of copied it a little bit, but definitely worth checking out. Eternity for Men by Calvin Klein. Thank you.